Okay. Um, yeah, so I wanted to do a review of the shoonya program that I just came back from 2 days ago. And yeah, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's a meditation program offered by Isha and Sadhguru, who you may have heard of. And it's considered an advanced program, so the prerequisite for it is learning or completing inner engineering, the program, and learning Shambhavi Muhammadra Kriya. So, yeah, I thought about doing it for a while and waited a year and a half or so, more than a year and a half since I learned Shambhavi to complete it or to do Shunya. And yeah, um, yeah, where do I start? I think overall, I would say the program went 10 out of 10. It was great. Like my personal experience, I think it I didn't go into it with expectations per se. Uh, and I'm satisfied with the outcome, but I kind of knew already what it was like. As the title of the program says, it's mostly about learning the two practices, Shakti Chalana Kriya and Shunya. So it was mostly about like transmitting the practice to us, rather than like an experiential program like Bhava Spandana. So I definitely would say that I was satisfied. I guess that's the best way to put it. I I know we're not allowed to talk about like what happened in the program, but they said you're allowed to share your experience and what you got from it. But I think it was different from BSP, which I did earlier in the summer or late in the summer, August, where I think in BSP there's a lot of specific things that the program didn't necessarily like say out loud, or like just in bold terms, this is what you're supposed to get from it. And I kind of like got a few, like 3, 4, 5 things that like directly influenced my life after completing the program. Like I would think about those things, and like I think successfully integrated those lessons into my life after doing the program. But I think Shunya was different in that like there were experiences, but I would say mostly like 95% of it was just an intense like Kriya learning. So yeah, advice for people who are thinking about it or going to do it, I would say, yeah, for people who are thinking about it, you just have to go with your gut, right? Like I think I have a personal take, but obviously a bunch of people who took the program with me were at different points in their journey, and they did it for different reasons. People I've met and talked to before, like some of them just like they learned Shambhavi and kind of didn't do any of it or rarely did their Shambhavi, and they just randomly signed up for Shunya, and once they did Shunya they just like started grinding. So I wouldn't even say like, hey, like you need to do Shambhavi beforehand. I think it's all this stuff is so illogical, and like yeah, it doesn't make sense because it's working in all this stuff, and life I guess is working in ways where you don't really know what's going on anyways. So if you feel right, there's some kind of intuition or some kind of force that's pushing you towards doing Shunya, I would definitely say that's the litmus test. But yeah, if it's right, I think you'll do it. Yeah. But like as my friends recommended, and as I even thought, like for a long since the summer, I like started thinking about doing shoonya, but like I could tell, like I knew for some reason that I wasn't ready to do it. Like first of all, there's like a big time commitment that comes with doing it, but also just I don't know, I just had a weird feeling like, hey, I'm not ready to do, like there's one thing about learning the practice, and then there's another thing of doing the practice and facing the effects of the practice, like I had to kind of wait where like Shambhavi was at a point where I was like I felt very comfortable with it. I was getting consistent positive benefits from it, and I felt very stable in my life and in my practices, where it felt like, yeah, like I even kind of for the last 2 months after I registered waiting for the program, like I was like thirsting over like learning the new practices. I was like very, yeah, enthusiastic about leveling up and like going to the next level, and like so at least that's how I did it. I like made sure I was ready before I think I started this stuff. But I know it's different, like if you do it and you may not even have had that much background or experience with like the previous stuff, or even done like balancing work or any of that. uh, I think it'll be fine. Like it's just, you will, if you do these kind of things, it's like working out, it's like anything really, you will adjust. It's just that transition period before adjusting, it can be smooth, it can not be smooth, but like if you like stick through it, it will happen. So yeah, I think the big thing is like if you feel like it's the right thing to do, then it will be the right thing to do. Yeah, for those who like already registered and who are looking for any advice or anything, like yeah, definitely like the the biggest thing is like the more comfortable you are with sitting in Ardha Siddhasana and just flexibility in general, all that kind of stuff, it's like the better you are at it, the better your experience will be, the nicer your experience will be. But I think even like at any point, like if you're living a normal average life in society, it's kind of hard to just do that stuff. So you just got to be willing to like stick through the pain at some point. So yeah, I would say that for like supplies and materials, bring like pain medication or like bombs for pain relief, just for like sitting stuff, because you have to sit a lot, and you're going to be learning new practices and new asanas. So yeah, that I did mine in the Tennessee ashram, so it was a little different than the India ashram where I did my BSPs, but I think it was nice. It was winter, so like it got cold and snowy, but I think everything is usually taken care of. They create a good list of things for you to like bring and pack. Yeah, I think it's something like they do a good job of just prepping you. The biggest thing is like it's ideal if you do enough Shambhavi and enough like balancing that they recommend before, like just doing Sukha Kriya and like Om chanting and stuff. I don't know if I'm allowed to even say those, but uh, yeah, just doing enough of the balancing work beforehand. Like for me, it's yeah, it's like at least the experience, it was normal. Like to me, that I definitely had like experiences. I'm just gonna call them experiences. Maybe I don't know if I want to go that crazy in this one, but like I feel like I baseline level of experiences where it's like whatever I had during there was like standard. I wasn't like shocked at like a jump in the experiences. Like obviously the actual like initiation day, it was like crazy. Obviously like shoonya initiation was really crazy, but I wasn't too like, it wasn't like, oh, I've never even gotten into a zone like that before or anything. But yeah, no, I think it is the next step. A lot of people say, and even I consider it, like now doing these two, like the pranayama and the shunya, are like it's the real deal. So I think I'm excited and ready ready to grind. See how it goes. Maybe I'll like update as I continue doing this stuff. I know there's like a large community of people and people in the West who are doing this stuff, younger people, um, and it's different. All this kind of stuff, whether it's like from Isha or some other group or any of this stuff, I really feel like this is this is like this is real. Like this is important. Like I don't know. Yeah, maybe it seems it's wrong to say this, but it feels like this stuff is the objective. Like what life is about. But maybe that's what life is about for me. Like finding out like how all this stuff works, what's the yeah nature of reality and all that kind of stuff. I think that has been something important to me for my whole life. Um, so yeah, it's cool. It's really cool.